Actually, just have a listen to this. This is Sam Coates of Sky News putting what is, I think, a superb question to Boris Johnson. And it might sound at first glance a little bit glib and even, dare I say, tabloidy. But this is a question built upon a deep understanding of the current political landscape and the seismic shift in relations between an American regime led by Donald Trump and American administration led by Joe Biden.
As some senior politicians in Britain seem to, that President Biden is woke.
I can't comment on that. But what I know is that he's a fervent believer in the transatlantic alliance, and that's a great thing, and a believer in a lot of the things that we want to achieve together. And insofar as nothing wrong being woke, what I can tell you is that I think that it's very, very important for everybody to, and certainly I will put myself in the category of people who believe that it's important to stick up for your history, your traditions, and your values and things you believe in.
But you see, the problem, as Johnson knows, and there's a reason why he is probably the first politician in history to sound even more like his spitting image puppet than his spitting image puppet. But when he talks, sticking up for your history, well, what if elements of your history were reprehensible? How are you going to stick up for them? Answer, get Robert Jenrick to write an article for the Sunday Telegraph about how important it is to stick up for statues. Bizarre, really. The reason why Boris Johnson, at this point in his premiership, can't say, well, of course Joe Biden is woke, and that's one of the many reasons I love him, is because woke essentially means this.
I know speaking of unity can sound to some like a foolish fantasy these days. I know the forces that divide us are deep and they are real, but I also know they are not new. Our history has been a constant struggle between the American ideal that we're all are created equal, and the harsh, ugly reality that racism, nativism, fear, demonization have long torn us apart. The battle is perennial, and victory is never assured.
That's woke, you see. Lifting the ban on transgender people in the American military, which I think he's already done, that's woke, you see. Calling out white supremacism, as he did in that inauguration speech, that is woke, you see. Warning against the attack on truth. Should we have another listen to that? Because this is woke. This is woke as well.
We face an attack on our democracy and on truth. A raging virus, growing inequity, the sting of systemic racism, a climate in crisis, America's role in the world. Any one of these would be enough to challenge us in profound ways. But the fact is, we face them all at once, presenting this nation with one of the gravest responsibilities we've had. Now we're going to be tested. Are we going to step up?
That's woke, you see. That's why Boris Johnson can't answer the question about whether Joe Biden is woke, because his government is built upon the polar opposite of what Joe Biden is describing. Oh, and this is woke as well.
Democracy is fragile. And at this hour, my friends, democracy has prevailed. So now, on this hallowed ground where just a few days ago, violence sought to shake the Capitol's very foundation, we come together as one nation, under God, indivisible, to carry out the peaceful transfer of power as we have for more than 2 centuries. As we look ahead and our...
So that's all woke. So now you've heard that, the attack upon racism, the attack upon lies, the attacks upon truth. Now listen again to Boris Johnson answering the question about whether he thinks Joe Biden is woke, and understand completely why he falls apart so spectacularly. I'm going to use that line again. I'm quite pleased with it. Probably the only politician in history that sounds more like his spitting image puppet than his spitting image puppet does.